everyone! So I decided I wanted to do an everyday contour kind of thing. This isn't for like what I do when I have like big parties I want to go to, or I'm going out with my friends or something like that. This is more of an everyday kind of thing where I would wear this on a day-to-day basis for either work, school, just because I like to contour my face. This is my everyday contour routine. It's not too heavy, but obviously you're going to be able to see it. So that's what I like for my everyday kind of use. I don't like it to be like harsh. I'm going out clubbing and it's 2 afternoon, you know? I mean, if you like to do that, by all means, go ahead, do that, do your thing. But for me, I just like really subtle contour for the day, and then I can like amp it up at night. I'm gonna start off by doing my concealer and my under eye concealer and my blemish concealer and whatnot. So I'm going to be using two. For my under eye, I'm going to be using the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in Custard. And then I'm going to be using for my blemishes, Hard Candy's Glamoflauge and Tan. The Nars, I'm just going to put right under my eye. I have mascara done, and I shouldn't have done it, but I did. I'm going to put it right under my under eyes just to cover up the dark circles, and then I'm going to put some on my forehead and then move down straight down my nose. Be sure when you're using something like this, especially with something that goes completely back into the product itself, don't put it straight on your acne, your blemishes, just because the bacteria will get back in there and it'll cause you to break out even more. But just be sure, it's okay if you put it on the scars, just don't put it directly on the acne itself. I'm going to put some on my cupid's bow and then some on my chin and maybe down here. And I know this seems like a lot, but it's really not. And then I'm going to go ahead and with the Glamoflauge, I'm going to start covering up my blemishes if it comes out. So I'm going to put some right there, some along my cheek. I put it anywhere where I have visible scarring or acne, just to cover it up and give me more of a flawless kind of look. I'm not going for a porcelain, but at least to cover it up a little bit. And I think that's about it. So this is what my face looks like in the process. So now I'm going to take my damp beauty blender and I'm just going to start patting it. And I know you heard this a lot from other beauty gurus, just don't drag, pat. So this is what it looks like after I have blended everything out. See that in this area, like down the middle, it's a lot lighter just because of the highlight. I did use a lighter concealer than I did for like my blemishes, just because I wanted this to kind of blend into my skin tone, and I wanted this to highlight anywhere that I wanted highlight. So under my eyes, on my forehead, down my nose, cupid's bow, and around my chin area. That's why I have two different color concealers. Now I'm going to go in and set my under eye concealer, my forehead, and my nose, just anywhere I put the really light concealer, the Nars concealer. And it's really gross right now, but I use this Rimmel Stay Matte, and I just for my under eyes and wherever I highlighted. So I'm just going to pat that right under, because if I don't do this, it's going to start creasing everywhere. And I hate that. Who likes creasing under their eyes? Come on. Now some on the forehead, just to set everything. Down the nose, cupid's bow, and then on your chin. So now I'm going to go in and put powder on my face, and what I usually use is the NYX Stay Matte but not flat, and this is in warm beige, and I'm just going to put this all over my face. And this does have a color to it. I always tend to use powders that have a color to them. So if you don't like that, you can go ahead and use a translucent powder. But for me personally, I like to have some color in my face. So that's what my face looks like after I have completely set everything, and I'll do a close-up for you guys. This is what my skin looks like after I have done everything. I haven't contoured yet, but after I have put on my foundation, my concealer, and whatnot, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start contouring. And for this, it ranges on what I use depending on the day, but for day-to-day use, I use NYC Sun N Bronzed, and I don't know what shade this is. I don't know if it has a shade. Oh, Montauk Bronze, maybe? I don't know how to pronounce it. This is what I use on a day-to-day basis. And I'm going to be using, this is the Real Techniques contour brush. And this is my favorite brush to use. So I'm just going to take some, pat it. And then what I do is I do from the top of my ear to the corner of my mouth. But I don't go that far. Usually I stop around this area, like right in the middle of my cheek. I don't like it to go way too far. Me personally, I just don't like that. An easy way to do this is sucking in your cheeks and know exactly where to put it at, but since I've been doing this for a while, I know exactly where I like my contour. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. And you can see already the line that's being drawn there. For right now, I like my contour to be just a straight line, and I start blending it out after I finish everything. You can see both of the lines right there. So now I'm going to start by contouring the rest of my face. Some people, before they like to contour, they bronze up their face, but I tend to not do that on a regular basis just because I'm already pretty tan, and if I do that, it's just going to go a lot darker than I want my face to look like. So sometimes I just stay away from it. So now I'm going to start by doing right from where I did the contour up. And be sure not to grab that much product just because it can tend to make you look a little dirty if the shade's not right or if you put too much. So just be careful, and while you're doing that, try to blend it out as you go, and then just move down and down. So now after you've done this, I want to say temples or the side of your face, you can go ahead. When I do my forehead, I tend to tap and then wipe some off on the back of my palm, back of my hand. And then now I'm doing my temples. And I usually do this just to even out my face. I just don't want my cheeks contoured or bronzed up, whatever you want to call it. I don't want my face just to be bronzed right there. Like, I want a full face of contour. So then I'm going to move on to the other side. Gonna do my other temple. And now I'm gonna do the top of my head. So if you do your temples and your forehead, just don't forget to do the top of your head just to have that perfect contour around your forehead. You just don't want it like these two bronze lines right here. You want it to blend out perfectly. I'm gonna go ahead and do this side. Doing the exact same thing I did on the other side. Now I'm going to move on to my nose, and I don't put any more product on my brush when I do my nose. Just from whatever's left, I just go right on the side of it, and I do this really fast. I'm not super precise about it. I just like doing this. And then I do the sides. Now I'm going to do my neck. And I just grab a little bit of product on the sides of my face, just right next to my chin, and then I bring it down, just to blend it out a little bit more. Be consistent with the color, and then do the exact same thing on the other side, and then bring it down. That is the face right now, just with plain contour, just with plain bronzer. Now I'm going to move on to my blush. And what I tend to use a lot is my Nars Orgasm. If you've seen a lot of my favorites or just my videos in general, you know that I use this color a lot. I'm going to just grab this brush. This is from Sonia Kashuk. And it's an angle brush. It's a really big angle brush. So I just tap and then start working my way. What I tend to do is I stay on the like apples on my cheeks and then I move up. I don't like to just keep it on my apples. So I'll do this. And when I apply it, I do in circular motions. I don't just swipe up and down. I tend to just do circular motions. And I bring it all the way up to where the start of my contour is. And I personally like a lot of blush. So you can go very light-handed on this. Or you can just not wear blush at all. Or don't contour at all. After I've done all my concealing, my setting, my foundation, not in that order, contouring, and my blush, I'm going to move on to my highlight. What I'm going to use today is the highlight from the Naked Flesh palette. And I'm going to be using one of these little brushes, a fan. And all I'm going to do is swipe it. A note before I do this, if you want to keep a matte kind of finish, I would avoid using anything with glitter in it, and then I would stop at this step. But if you want like more of a shine, dewy kind of finish, I would go ahead and do this step. So right here in this area, right above my cheekbone, not too high, not really close to my eye, but right above my cheekbone, or not my cheekbone, my cheek itself. That's where I'm gonna put it at. And I'm gonna do it from like the middle of my cheek to the end. I'm gonna move on to my other side. Now, this is an optional step. Again, everything's optional. This is an optional step that I do. It depends on how much shine I want on my face or how much sparkle or highlight. I will do my forehead and then down my nose and just a little bit on my cupid's bow. So just for demonstration's sake, I'm gonna do that. Just a little bit on my forehead and then down my nose, and then just a little bit on my cupid's bow. After I've done every single step, I'm gonna go in with a big brush and I'm just gonna go in and blend everything out. And be sure to do like your sides of your face and your temple just so it won't be so harsh. And if you did do it harsh, you can diffuse the color a bit. This is the finished look. I don't have any lipstick or like barely any eye makeup, so it might look a little too much. But this is what I do on a daily basis. I tend to do this within like 5 minutes, maybe even less, just because I'm so used to it. So I usually do really fast and I'm just completely done. It won't take me as long as it did for this video. After blending it out, it's not as harsh as you would believe it to be. But you can still see like the contour and the blush and the highlights. Hopefully you can see the highlight. Hope you guys found this video informative, and I know I got some requests from a couple people about doing just a contouring, my everyday contouring. But if you guys want to see more of my dramatic contouring, give this video a thumbs up and I will do that for you guys as soon as I can. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and, like I said, found it informative, learned something maybe. I'm not saying this is how everyone contours or this is the perfect way to contour. This is just how I contour and I find it simplest for me personally. I really hope you guys enjoy the video and I'll see you next time.